Hello everyone and welcome to game 3 in the series. This is gonna be LZ versus Titan here on Cloud Kingdom. Hopefully the grayness of my current encoding does get out of the way. But then again, it's the early portion of the game. I'm sure you guys just, skip to the exciting parts unless you guys like to hear my opening monologues. Anyways, LZ spawning on the top right hand side of the map as the purple Zerg. Meanwhile, Titan on the bottom left hand side of the map as the green Protoss. Protoss versus Zerg here on Cloud Kingdom, as we are going to see a probe set up a low ground pylon. And this may be, once again, Titan's standard gateway expand. He's really been favoring that gateway expand. And the gateway expand is the strategy I'm seeing more and more of. One of the reasons why I like the gateway expand is it doesn't hurt your tech nearly as much. You have your gateway, you can easily adjust and adapt to what your opponent is trying to go for. If your opponent is trying to go for, say, a lot more Zerglings, you can try to get the Zealots out. Otherwise, if they are doing a macro game, you can even delay your Forge for an earlier Nexus, or you can get that Forge set up in order to fend off the attack. So far, no one has really tipped their hand as of yet. LZ may be trying to go for a 15 hatch here on Cloud Kingdom. Meanwhile, Titan may be trying to go for a delayed gateway. It's just going to be a matter of time before we see what these openings will be. And LZ changing things up, going for instead of 15 hatch or for a 15 pool. So a 15 pool first here on Cloud Kingdom, and I'm not exactly sure how LZ wants to open this game up. He could try to follow it up with a hatchery and then utilize the injects from a queen in order to get a lot of units out, as he will be behind in larva for a little while. You can see one drone already ready to go, building at the natural expansion. And it is going to be pool first though, so LZ should have the benefit of an earlier queen and be able to perhaps lay down creep tumors and get some early injects for production. Forge fast expansion coming in from Titan, so really just changing things up here. LZ opting to go for a pool first against a faster Nexus first into Forge fast expansion, as the gateway is now being warped in as well. We'll see how this will all follow up. Probe just gonna mine away a little bit before heading off over here, perhaps adding in one photon cannon here and then moving along his merry way. This one poor probe with minerals in his mouth may get taken out. No, the Zerglings simply wanting to pass through him. The probe does spot the hatchery now being built, as we are going into a gateway. The gateway about to be completed as well. Needs about another 20 seconds, but the Zerglings could find their way inside. This could be very, very bad news. What's going to be happening here? And is it going to... Oh, the probe trying to hold the position and unable to do so. 4 Zerglings were able to get inside the base, and that is going to cause some problems. The Zerglings now trying to chase after the probes here. One probe just going to continue to hold position there as the Zerglings passing through. The probes doing a good job just fending off the attack now. And are they gonna perhaps start zapping back at those Zerglings? Yes, doing exactly that. The regeneration on the shields actually slightly faster if they have not taken any damage. Meanwhile, the Zerglings always regenerating some hit points, as the probes now just dancing and playing a very dangerous game with those Zerglings here. LZ wants to get some worker damage. Will he be able to is the key question. 4 probes being stuck very, very close together, and now continuing to zap away at those Zerglings. The Zerglings just going to continue to wander around here, as we are now warping in another pylon. Zerglings now swarming in, getting some damage onto some probes, but it looks as though those Zerglings' days are going to be pretty much numbered, as the Zerglings hold position in the middle of that gas line there. Zealot now making its way over. And let's take a look at the losses. 200 losses versus 100. Perhaps more workers killed than I thought. Yeah, a total of 4 workers killed from those 4 Zerglings. Nicely done, as LZ looks to perhaps continue with his advantage, setting up a hatchery here at what I will call the center 1 o'clock position expansion location on Cloud Kingdom. Double extractors now looking to morph into play. LZ already has a queen at each of his hatcheries. Perhaps going to transfer over another one here. Nope. Just going to train one up the old-fashioned way. 50 seconds to train. And now we are going into 2 more assimilators coming in from Titan. So Titan on a very, very heavy tech path. We'll see how far down this path he goes, as he will be getting a lot of gas. Level 1 weapons upgrade has not been added for some strange reason. A level 1 weapons upgrade normally added in order to allow those Zerglings to two-shot, or to allow Zealots to two-shot Zerglings, one of those critical upgrades that make those Zealots much, much, much more efficient. Queen now ready to perhaps hit some injects as well. So far, LZ does have a 12 supply lead, 43 harvesters compared to 40, but then again, LZ also has the added benefit of working on 3 bases as opposed to 2, less diminishing returns. A warp prism is being added at the same time a robotics facility is being warped in, so we could be going for double robotics facilities, which would be a rather strange sight. A two base double robotics facility colossi strategy is not out of the question. The key question will then be how many zealots you can utilize with this, as we are now going into another set of warp prisms. So far we are training up warp prisms. There is a second robotics facility. We perhaps could be going in for double immortals. We are also getting the gravitic drive. The gravitic drive, the movement speed upgrade for warp prisms, and double warp prisms looking to perhaps do a drop and also deal a lot of damage with immortals. So double immortals now being trained. Immortals do take up half of a warp prism, but then again, Titan could just turn these units into phasing mode in order to warp in units straight underneath. We are going to be having, I believe, 4 immortals here. The immortals gonna have level 1 weapons upgrade momentarily. We'll see how much burst damage they can do, as immortals are very effective against roaches, but not so effective against Hydralisks or Zerglings. Hydralisks then also already being added, and this may be perhaps a lucky day for LZ, as LZ is going to have the correct counter units as long as he doesn't invest too heavily into roaches. Groove Spine's about to be completed, and I say that just because it's one of the shorter researches. Only 60 more seconds to go. Taking a look over here, we are going into double immortals, and the immortals could attempt to snipe down a hatchery. Those 4 immortals dealing 200 damage per round of attack, so in about 10 seconds would be able to shoot down a hatchery if they go unchallenged. Level 1 weapons upgrade needing just a little bit more time. In about 40 seconds that will be completed. The immortal should be able to get exactly that. We'll see also how many more gateways are going to be warping in. We're currently sitting on 3 gateways, so it is going to be 4 gateways, 4 zealots, and 4 immortals inside the base. That is going to be a devastating number, as the Hydralisks are already in position, and if these Hydralisks catch this, oh, there's going to be bad news. 1 immortal or 2 immortals already down, and wow, Titan losing a lot of resources right there, and that was a really just poorly planned attack. 1100 resources lost compared to 175. That warp prism and getting shot out of the sky just really hurt, as you now see the warp prism is trying to retreat. The warp prism does move very quickly though, and now able to return back home. Glial reconstitution now being added. Level 2 weapons upgrade being added. We are going into Colossi with extended thermal lance range. We'll see what's going to be happening here, as probes are now being transferred over here to the 3rd base. Probes should be able to start mining from here in just a moment. 2 immortals, as the warp prism now going into a Colossus. So a Colossus may be doing a little bit of weird play, as the warp prism should be able to move around very easily, perhaps get some easy damage on the Queen or even the Spore Crawler. Extended thermal lance range not yet completed, as now the roaches and Hydralisks are looking to push in. There's some force fields. Zerglings getting caught on the wrong side. More and more stalkers are now warping in as well. What is this Colossus gonna do? He can't do very much of anything, as he's gonna end up taking a lot of damage. The warp prism, however, able to fly by, since it does move so quickly, and the Colossus now on the high ground, just gonna perhaps try to take down the Queen. In comes a Queen. The Queen is using those acid spines. Is enough damage gonna be dealt? And the Titan says GG. After, wow. Okay, I need to back up and see how badly that fight went for LZ here, or how badly that fight went for Titan. So taking a look at the overall supply count. The overall supply count 114 versus 175. Things were always looking very bad. Back over here, you can see that the Hydralisks and the Zerglings are trying to engage. You can see that we're going to have more reinforcements. The Stalkers or the Colossus is still pressing that attack here as the Roaches and the Hydralisks with 1-0 upgrades really just going to town. And that 70 supply difference really something to behold as Titan loses his own base here. Not that many workers killed though, but a 70 harvester to 52 harvester advantage. And a quick GG here on Cloud Kingdom as we are now going into a game 4. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.